And I think juggalos, more than any other subculture that I've like rocked with, they know if someone's coming in from a good place or if they're coming in from like appropriating and like they're like a narc and they're trying to just do it because it's edgy, or if they really live that life. And like your music reflects that, man.
Yo, it's Hatchet Chat with Lars and Snax. Your juggalo homies talking hatchet tracks. There's hatchet beats and hatchet raps. The whole catalog's packed full of classic gems, and we talk about them all on Hatchet Chat. Whoop whoop.
What's up? Whoop whoop. Welcome to Hatchet Chat. And this is an exciting episode because this fool has produced like all the psychopathic artists in the past few years. He just came into the game like a ninja, and he's on everyone's projects. And I got to kick it with him at the gathering. He's a real cool dude. So let's welcome Deveraux to the show. What's up, Deveraux?
Whoop, whoop. What up, everybody?
Whoop,
I'm so excited to be here, dude. Fucking Hatchet Chat. I've been a fan of you guys for a little bit. My boy Darby O'Trill actually put me onto your guys' show because I met Lars at Gotjay when we were doing events and shit. And he put me on. He was like, bro, you know, they got a podcast, whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, dope. Like, and I started going back through the catalog. I saw the Bloody Sunday episode. I believe I saw the Fuck Off episode. A couple different streams of your guys that I caught, man. It's dope shit. Much love.
Man,
much love. That's nice. Yeah, thank you.
Man. That's so cool to hear. And, you know, as we, you know, of course, Lars started it as solo and, you know, was gracious enough to have me on, you know, 5 or 6 episodes in, we turned into a podcast thing, and we kind of were going old, like just in order, basically from start to finish. Then we started doing the new stuff, and that gave us the opportunity to talk about your flavor because, you know, as you're doing the new stuff, Deveraux's production is all over there. Like you said, you just recently did work on Bloody Sunday. You've been on 2 Joker's cards, not to mention LSP stuff, Ouija Macc. So, dude, just props on, you know, growing that stock ever more each year, dude. It's pretty inspiring to see.
Thank you so much, fam. That means the world, for real.
Dude, it's interesting, like, piecing together your story, right? It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, you grew up making beats. Were you always a hip hop fan? Like, what's your entry into music in the first place?
Not you know what, man? Not really. I wasn't. When I started getting into music, my dad had always played like the Beatles and like Michael Jackson and just like I can't tell you the first time I ever heard the Beatles. Like it's just been so a part of like my growing up and like everything that I've done. So not really, bro. I started off being a classic rock guy, a metal guy. And then it wasn't really until probably late high school when I was like 16, 17 is when I started listening to really like ICP. But you know what was weird, man, is like ICP, like I never considered them like a rap group, if that makes sense. Like when I got put onto them, they were almost like a rock band almost at first. Like that's how I was introduced to them at first, you know? So I always like lumped ICP as like a multi like genre band instead of like a strictly hip hop thing. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different flavors and styles that they did that I never really lumped them anyways. So around that time is when I started listening to like 3-6 Mafia, a lot of Waka Flocka, some of that, a lot like early Young Money shit, like getting like deep into that shit, you know. MF Doom was a huge influence on me when I was coming up as well. Just like a whole bunch of different, because this was like a whole new world to me, you know, like when I'm that age and just kind of opening Pandora's box on like hip hop as a whole, you know. So I went in like all different directions and shit, you know.
I love one of the nights when you're DJing on the Nightmare stage, right? It was you dropped the E40 song with Brother Lynch.
Yeah,
that was I was like, this fool's got some deep cuts. Like the hip hop that you like is definitely different. But that was cool to hear your DJ set to get a sense of your influence. But when you dropped that, I was like, yeah, I could vibe with this guy. That was so tight.
I was wondering if anybody caught on to that, and I'm glad somebody noticed it. It was almost like an Easter egg for me, you know, like.
Yeah, you know, Lars is gonna catch that Bay flavor.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's interesting how you'd play like all the Juggalo classics, and then you drop in some hip hop classics, and to our culture, like that's the same stuff. It was cool how you were like connecting it, and I think multi-genre influence is a big part of your style, because like I can hear like the Waka Flocka vibe, but I can also hear the rock vibe and stuff. So like maybe, I don't know, maybe you could school us a little bit like on how you build beats if you want, without giving away any secrets, like what, like your process, because I think that people would be curious.
So I always attribute the beat making to like painting on a canvas, right? Like it's a lot of, I'll wake up early in the morning, sit down, and just start throwing some synth ideas into the program, you know, and like if something sticks or something kind of sticks out to me, like then I can elaborate. I start adding the layers, kind of adding the color to it. You know what I mean? This synth works, reverb, and then I start throwing drums on that shit. So it's kind of crazy you say that, because the rock shit kind of goes hand in hand. Usually what'll happen is like I'll sit same shit, but I'll pull my guitar out instead of the synth, you know, because I always attribute like the synth and the guitar to be kind of like one and the same in the whole process of it. It's just like building the melody of the song and shit. So like I'll grab my guitar and just start kind of noodling, and then if something kind of catches my ear, I'll just hit record and then just start doing the same process, throwing drums on it, maybe some more synths. It just kind of all depends, whatever the flow, you know what I mean?
Do you use a click, or you just kind of just vibe and then add beats over the samples? Like, do you do it to a click track when you're doing the guitar?
I do when I track guitar, for sure. Yeah, when you do that, you got to be like super in time and shit. So yeah, I'll run it through a click, then take it off, and then I know all my drums will line up perfect, you know?
To keep it on the production tip a little bit more, you know, again, not to try and get you to reveal too much of your secrets, but when it comes to like your synths and stuff, are you a hardware kind of guy, or do you like the more virtual synthesizer flavor?
I'm VST virtual synth dude all the way, because I point and click. I point and click everything, bro. I don't use a machine or nothing. Like I tell like anybody, any like up and coming Juggalo producers or producers in general, bro, like coming in up in this scene, bro, like there was no like tutorial on like how to make beats. Right. Like this whole YouTube thing is like a whole new like realm and shit. Cause like you used to have to watch videos of like Timbaland making beats, Lex Luger making beats, and there wasn't a lot. You know what I mean? That whole thing was a very underdeveloped like side of like the community, to where like you would stop the video and then you would see like, oh, I see what he did there, and then you go back and bro, I can't tell you how many like shitty car mixes I ran of just like trial and error, bro, just seeing what works, because there was no like blueprint for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, but like to think, because now you can Google whatever and like you'll have all that information readily available at any moment, or you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was just lot of like fucking trial and error. So with synths, going back to the original question, I run VSTs, bro, so I don't even use no pads or nothing. So I'll just point click in the melody, and if it works, it turns into a beat. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing, man. So cool, dude. And that trial and error, like being forced to do that and kind of teach yourself, I think it can help you develop your own voice artistically a lot better than if you did have maybe a direct teacher or something like that. So whatever you did to perfect your craft, it clearly worked, bro.
Thank you, fam. Thank you so much.
How did you and Ouija link? I'm sure you've told this story a million times, but like that, I'm curious to hear.
Really, that whole connection is Shaggy the Airhead's responsible for that, bro. Me and Shaggy had been friends for a while, because we were both producing for the same dude. Like, bro, this is probably like maybe 7-8 years ago now we met, maybe more. So we were producing for the same dude or whatever, and Shaggy was always looking for dope rappers, man, because we were both on the same mindset. Like, we both like just wanted to like find a dope artist, lock in, and make like dope shit. You know, that was like the goal, you know? So anytime he would see somebody, he would let me know, vice versa. So Shaggy had found Ouija's previous group or whatever and was like, bro, dude is working. Like, dude has an insane ethic. And I was like, dope, man, fresh. So I started sending him beats. Now, in like the producer realm, like when you have someone that's like, yo, I'm gonna use this beat or whatever, it might take them a year and a half, 2 years to put that song out, bro. So at that point, as an artist, we all know like there's growth and like things happen, you know. So you're like, you hear that song come out 2 years later, you're not even feeling the same way about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, I've come
Right.
so far. So when we met up with Ouija, he was knocking songs out, bro. Dude would knock out songs like in a couple days type shit. So I'm like, damn, like I love that. I love that energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the first like spark of like, oh shit, like this is gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I had never met nobody that worked that quick and that was like good shit, you know? Because you had people that'll turn a song out in a day and it's awful.
Right.
You feel me? But
Yeah.
it was just crazy to meet someone on that level that was just like as hungry, if not more, than he was. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Was there like a point where it started feeling like because I know you're not exclusively his producer, but on most of his projects, including Gutterwater, which we're going to talk about, you did like 12 out of the 17 tracks. Like, was there a point where you realized, okay, Ouija is coming to me for like most of my stuff. I'm going to be this big part of Ouija's sound. Like, at what point would you say that happened?
Bro, I don't even think I ever even had that moment, bro. Like,
Word.
it's so natural that I don't even really even think about it like that, to be real. Like,
Cool.
as much like there's projects like it's just crazy because like that's wild you even say that. I don't even think about it like that, but like I guess that is crazy. Just to answer your question, like I can't pinpoint it, to be honest. I never really even thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it makes sense too, because you've also kept banging out an insane amount of production for other acts too. So even though as prolific as Ouija is, it might not seem like, oh, I'm just Ouija's producer, because you produce for so many people, you know. So that kind of makes sense.
It's so you know what it is, bro. It's like it's been so organic that I like out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? That was just doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? As a unit, being dope. I was like, fuck it, man, let's run it up. Like,
cool.
Because you could have fucking some of my favorite shit, like Maisie did. Roadmap is so fucking dope, and I love like moments like that, like on Fern, where it's like I love that guitar beat. Like I'm more of a fan of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all phenomenal. You feel me?
For sure.
It's interesting how, what do they say? Like success is preparation and timing, you know, being ready, having the skills, and like when someone's ready to work, being able to keep up with them. Like all the years you put in working got you ready for that. And then I correct me if I'm wrong, dude, but like that was then a helpful inroad to like doing the stuff on ICP's joints, right? As an adjunct to that. Yeah.
No, absolutely, brother. Like Ouija fucking he made all that happen, bro. Like they were obviously bumping Gutterwater and shit. So like all props to Ouija. Like Violent J heard my shit and he was like, bro, dude's dope or whatever. So we kind of exchanged information at that point and started that line of communication to start producing for them and shit.
How did that feel when you first heard their like rhymes over one of your tracks?
I remember, bro, I was sitting on the couch at my homie's house. I think I was pretty drunk too. And like, so we were just chilling or whatever. And Scotty Two Balls, you guys know Scotty Two Balls?
Yep, of Carnival Spirits.
Yeah, bro. So this is a crazy story. He DM'd me and he's like, bro, ICP is on one of your beats. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? So he sent me this YouTube link and it's the song I Can't off I think it's a Gathering single, bro. It's
Willoughby Rags.
Yeah, that's
Magical
the first
bag of poop.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it. And I bumped it and it blew my mind because that's like, bro, that's fucking Violent J over my beat, dog. Like, what? Like the same dude from House of Mirrors, the same dude from In My Room. It just like blew my wig back, you know? Like I'm still fucking tripping about that shit to this day. Like I'm fucking insanely honored to even be able to work with them, bro. It's fucking amazing.
And even at the beginning, he's like, I can't believe, because it says Deveraux, your signature, right, is there. And even he reacts, I can't believe he did the beat. So he was like marking out at you a bit too. That must have been a trip as well, on top of all that flavor.
100%, bro. Yep.
That song is crazy. And I heard you in another interview. I think it might have been the Humble and Bug. I'm not sure. You've done a couple of dope ones, and shout out to whoever interviewed you, because I was watching those, doing research, and you mentioned you were trying to give Hell's Pit vibes with that beat, right?
Yeah, bro. A lot of that shit is like, bro, I get into the mindset of like, what would I want to hear? Like if I was a juggalo in like 2023, like I take like my favorite moments from like ICP records, and I'm like, damn, I want to incorporate this or this or this, just to kind of like give a nod. So like when people hear shit like that, it connects, like something's in my room off of Bloody Sunday is a perfect example of that, where I was like, damn, like I want to bring back like Ringmaster Boom Bap, just cause, you feel me? Like, and then add the Mikey Clark, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just give nods to that, but in like a dope 2023 twist, you feel me? Like,
yeah, what do they say? Like genre is the clothes that music wears. So you can't really emulate an artist's style unless you really know you've worn the clothes yourself, right? You have to have it inside of you. And then I think that's what, and I think juggalos, more than any other subculture that I've like rocked with, they know if someone's coming in from a good place, or if they're coming in from like appropriating and like they're like a narc and they're trying to just do it because it's edgy, or if they really live that life. And like your music reflects that, man. And it's just, when we did the Violent J record, we were talking about, you saw the interview, like we were talking about how it was cool because it played with rock, it played with the trap stuff, and like it must have been crazy to work on a whole record with him. Like you got into it deep with him, huh? Like
there's a lot to that, bro. There's a lot of beats on that we submitted for that, and but some of my favorite ones were picked, like the In the Hole shit. Like that was crazy when I did that. I was just same shit, bro, just noodling, and I was like, oh man, that's a fucking Violent J record all day, bro. Come on, like, and it just kind of one of those things that it just kind of came together so quick, and I immediately knew, I was like, bro, that's gonna land, and I love it because it makes a lot of sense,
Hell yeah. Like we mentioned earlier, this episode is on Gutterwater, which is Ouija Macc's debut psychopathic release, which you had a huge hand and huge part in producing for him. Quick background for the Hatchet Chat, trivia flavor. Came out on May 25th, 2018, shortly after Ouija Macc was signed in 2017 to the label. Got a couple other cooks in the kitchen: Domain, Shaggy the Earhead, DJ Clay, and Seven. All the tracks are dope, but you did 12 of the 17 on here. And Lars and I, picked a few of our favorites, and we were hoping that maybe you could talk about them, like break them down a bit. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure. Run it.
Okay, so Snax. This is a track we both love, and it gave me some Little Peep vibes. I mean, Ouija can sing. That dude's got like a melodic cadence, but it works well. This is almost like a pop song. Do you know what song I'm talking about, Snax?
Is it Ghost?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why do you love this song so much? And then we can ask about the production.
I just, honestly, to be totally frank, this song kind of has a special place in my heart because I think it opened my ears, so to speak, up to a newer style of rap. I have never tried to be like, a stubborn person when it comes to not like accepting new sounds or anything like that. But it does take a while to get used to, new stuff. And this kind of just made me dig that sound in a way that I never have, to where I was more open to listening to other artists and stuff. As far as just a dope song on the album, it's incredibly haunting. I love the ethereal production, which I can't wait to hear Deveraux talk about. But man, it just kind of puts me in a zone, and I love it.
Yeah, how did this come together? Yeah.
That was another one kind of like In the Hole, where I was like, I think I was messing around with samples and shit one day, and it's just one of those ones that came together in like 10-15 minutes, bro. Like,
wow,
everything made so much sense because of how it was laid out, that like it just kind of made itself. It's just one of those, you guys have those where it's like, bro, this came together so fast, like, and it's like perfect or whatever. So like, I sent that one out, and I was like, damn, bro, that one's gonna be fucking nuts. And I know like Ouija was gonna use it because he was already knocking shit out. So I was like, fuck, man, he's gonna slam dunk that. So, and then I remember them being like, oh, that's gonna be the first single, bro. Like, there's a video to it and everything. And I'm like, holy shit, that just turned like a dope fucking record, like elevate. You know what I mean? Like, because every time you add the visual aspect to it, it just makes the whole song like that much crazier or whatever. But I seen the video with like the Joker scene, and I was like, bro, this is fucking insane right now. Like, just one of those things that just happened so quick, bro, and like everything was perfect with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people still trip out on Ghost to this day, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, it's like the well, it fits like we're talking about, like the genre reflects the story, and it's like that's the vibe of Malenko, that's the vibe of Riddlebox.
Wow,
and,
totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's and it's you don't need to necessarily explain why it's spooky. Like a lot of the romantic 17th century poets like Keats and Coleridge, they have this idea of the sublime. When you look at like Frankenstein or Dracula, these monsters from the Romantic era that you can't put your head around them, but you know there's something eerie that makes them timeless. And that's the aesthetic the beats bring to this record. And I feel like it's cool to like draw those connections and talk about it, you know?
Hell yeah, man.
Then we got Light on this next track. We're gonna talk about Future Wicked, and like Light and Ouija were like the two homies that were like, this was Psychopathic's new generation. And then like, no disrespect to Light, but like Ouija just came hard with the stuff. And on this track, Light does great, but I think Ouija just kind of like I feel like his style just dominates this track. What's up? Like, how was it working on a collab like this, Deveraux? And how did the Future Wicked come together?
Honestly, bro, like I'm not sure. I don't know if I heard that one until it came out, to be honest, bro. To be real. I don't remember hearing like the demo for that. For some other shit I did. But like for that one in particular, like we all heard it at the same time on that one, to be real.
Cool. Word. And that's what's up. And it's like, so you did the production, you sent it, and so you heard it when it was done. They weren't coming at you with like, so they knew it was tight. They liked the beat. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. They ran it. It's like, bro, like, it's just because we work so much, bro. Like, there's so much shit I send to like Ouija that's like, you feel me? Like, that's bound to happen just based on you know what I mean? Like, just based on all the shit we do. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Did you know it was going to have Light on it or no?
I think so. I think I do remember. Yeah. Them mentioning that for sure. Yeah.
Dope, man. Is the guitar sampled, like, or is that you playing it, or maybe chopping up something you played?
I think I chopped a sample up for that one, bro. That's cool. Just like, and that's crazy because like, if you ever notice, like the simplest shit is what goes the craziest. Like, yeah. If you have like a crazy dope fucking melody like that, like you can let that bitch ride for the whole beat, and it'll go crazy. You know, so that's a weird one, and that's also like a really slow beat too.
Right.
Like one of the slower ones. So it's kind of crazy how they kind of just did their thing on that shit. That's a dope one.
You know what's something like as an MC that makes Ouija Macc style work is more than any other artist on Psychopathic, maybe other than Jay, he's really good with where he pauses, where he doesn't rap. Like he'll have a simple, he'll be like da 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 da. And so if it's a slow beat with like a strong hook, it's really conducive to like where he's silent. And I think Jay has that similar thing too, like thoughtful pauses, which fit well with the production like that. So yeah, if you're going hard with the melody, he doesn't need to be doing the fast cadence. Like Light's great with the Tech 9 chopping style, which is tight, but like it complements, his flow complements that beat. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite beats on the record. And like, it's the fusion of the old and new. And I think like, the Future Wicked. I mean, the title, it sums it up, right? Wicked, the wicked stuff, and the future. So that one pops off.
It's crazy you say that, bro, because like that's what you said is prolific, because not a lot of people can rhythmically rap like that if you really think about it. Like how you just explained it, like Jay knows how to stop and create almost like a drum pattern with his words, which is, I feel like, harder than doing that chopper shit, to be real. Like, because you have to know how that shit moves. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just like, I don't know. Like, people's rhythms are all different, bro, and it's crazy that they can do that.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I don't know if you like Deveraux, like if you ever like listen to Miles Davis or like the old jazz, but like where he doesn't play like on Kinda Blue, that's what makes the modality of the jazz scales on that record work, because like where he's silent is very important. And like it's like social media, you can go hard on Instagram all day, but knowing when to take a break and recharge to create content is like this artistic balance. So it's like finding that balance as an MC like Jay or Ouija. You can't find that balance without like a strong beat, a strong foundation for it. And I think it's like, it's like life, right? A lot of good MCs can rap well because they figured out how timing works in their like spiritual human plane. So
damn, that's crazy. Yeah, you're so right about that. Yeah.
That's what's up. Thanks for following me on that journey. I appreciate the metaphor.
No, bro, that was prolific. I fuck with that. That's very well put on how you said that. Prop.
Thanks, man. That's what's up. Body Drop. Now this one live goes off, and I love that. Is it Jump Steady doing the news report?
I think it's Jay doing it.
Oh, that's what's up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's very Dead Body Man-esque. You're talking about the throwback stuff, like the news report. And then I had to Google the number, what he says, the 866-867-5309. Did you Google that, Brian Snax?
No, I didn't.
It's like well, maybe you can say, Deveraux, you remember what it was? The phone number?
No. What was it?
So it's these people dressed up in like colonial costumes singing 867-5309. It's a commercial for like a fabric company. And that's the number that they say to call if you find him. And they sing that Benjamin Franklin Plumbing in Marin County. And so the number, so I had to Google the number.
Is that like a local Michigan, like one of those crazy like local commercials?
It's in like Northern California, but it's like one of those crazy commercials where it's these guys dressed like Benjamin Franklin singing that Jenny 867-5309, call us if you have a plumbing leak. It's just like a crazy Easter egg. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Bro, how did you find that?
Because I Googled it. I was like, what, the 866? I'm like, that's North.
Got you.
I was like, that's Northern California. That's not Henderson, and that's not Florida. So I was like, oh. And then, so yeah, I wonder how many juggalos Googled that. But,
right.
Tight.
This one's one of the heavier songs on the record. So how did this one come together? Similar thing, you were just vibing, or did you want to go with something super hard on purpose?
I think Body Drop is around when I was listening to a lot of like like underground SoundCloud, a lot of Bones, a lot of like Ghostmane, a lot of like Suicide Boys, shit like that. So what I was trying to do is kind of like working that sound into like what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some of those like Team Sesh or like whatever style synths and shit in the production, especially on Gutterwater and shit. So it's kind of like a weird SoundCloud trap rock mix. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, but like, yeah, that was just me going from the most dark, like distorted, like fucked up sounding like beats I could make at that time, and a lot of that shit is what ended up on that and Water Damage.
Yeah, and that was that era, right? Because like that was when Suicide Boys were getting their love, and that sound was new. And that whole movement, and being from Florida or being from the South too, like you kind of have that in your blood, those kind of beats.
Yeah, bro, we were starting to work down here and shit, but we were starting to get records with people down here and shit early on, and it's just that whole influence, bro, because that's like a whole like era I feel like people don't really talk about, and I feel like maybe once the years go on, like people will look back at it being a very dope era for music, because it was all very like independent based, like you mix everything, you do the art, you record, you promo, you know what I'm saying? Like you do everything, bro. Like, because at that point, like, and then people started getting signed off that. And it was just crazy, like how that independent movement was really coming up. So it was like a huge influence on my sound and really how we go about everything, to be honest.
And that's like the psychopathic model and the punk model, the Bay model. Do it yourself. You know everyone. You put everyone on. And like, that's why it was so dope when Suicide Boys played The Gathering. I thought it was like a cool connection. Were you at that show? Because I couldn't make it that year.
Bro, I couldn't make it that year, bro. I'm so
Oh,
pissed. Yeah.
I bet it was. I'm sure it went off. I heard they did great.
Yeah, absolutely. Had to.
Yeah, and you know what else is crazy? You know how like Ghostmane has kind of that, and Suicide Boys a bit. They have like that 1920s dark Disney style art.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like Shaggy the Airhead does a cool, like more colorful flip on it, like that vibe coming through, like all these connections there. So it's cool that you mentioned that about Body Drop because I always felt like that energy was there. It's awesome to confirm that it was.
Fuck yeah.
That's what's up. Did you Snax? Did you have anything to say about Body Drop, or should we talk about On Everything?
Man, I think you guys covered it good. It's definitely one of the heaviest bangers on the album, and it's just a fresh track, super dope.
That's what's up. That's our whole. It's like that interview with Chris Farley and Paul McCartney on Saturday Night Live. He's like, "Remember when you were in the Beatles? That was awesome." That's kind of what we're like doing.
yeah.
Remember Gutterwater? That was awesome.
Sometimes I'm picking my wig up still from something fresh that you said, about like time back to metaphysics or something. So I just gotta collect my thoughts sometimes.
Yeah, this show goes all over the place, but it's cool to have a focus. Okay, so On Everything, like I love this song, and it's interesting to think about how we don't have to get in the drama, but like certain people were not trying to rep the Hatchet 2017, 2018. Certain people were real proud to rep it, and like this song, I don't know, it's this song kind of like reflects that. Like, are you down with this movement? Are you Benedict Arnold in a way? Shaggy had a little reference to that on his solo record, right? And so, yeah, so the energy around this song, let's talk about how it came together and like your interpretation about like what loyalty means to you, Deveraux, if that's even a term. I thought that'd be a cool frame for this.
It's fucking everything, bro. Like a lot of the reasons why we're even here talking to each other is because of Psychopathic and all the dope shit that they've done. You know what I mean? So it's really about just being a genuine person, being fucking transparent, and having the best intentions. And that's all that's ever been. And that's really what it means to be a Jug, I feel, to an extent. You feel me? Like, that is the motto. So, like, just embodying that and just fucking doing your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is, bro. It's not that hard to be a decent person. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's shitty. It's shitty to say, bro, but just like keep it real. Keep it 100% at all times, and that's it. You'll never have to worry about nothing, you know?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
The rest will sort itself out, man. It's like natural law. Like once you break someone's trust, it's impossible, like, or not impossible, but it's very hard to get it back because loyalty, like, is just like a law of physics. It's not meant to be broken, and there's serious consequences when you betray someone's trust. I thought this song was so interesting because, if I'm not mistaken, Denial is right before it, and that was one of the tracks. I don't think you produced. Seven produced that, but Denial kind of has a more introspective ending and or vibe, I should say, and a bit more of a melodramatic kind of lyric content. And ICP a lot of times, will end their records with these, more kind of ballady tracks, but then it ends actually with a banger On Everything. When I listened to it this most recent time, it just kind of hit home for me. Were you involved in the arrangement, or when you got the full album, was it kind of exciting to see where your beats fell?
Yeah, and the way it was put together, for sure, and it kind of really made me like understand the vision. Like, I was like, oh, I get I really see what works. You know what I mean? Like, it makes a lot of sense the way it was laid out, for sure.
Great tune, great way to end the album.
Do you know who produced If I Was a Wizard? Was that your beat? Or was that secret?
Who did that? I used to know that. Let me see. Hold on.
While he's looking, Juggalos, for those who don't know, If I Was a Wizard is the bonus track. You get a bonus interlude, some extra flavor at the very end of track 17. It takes a while to kick in, but it's a super dope song. So I'm excited to see it.
This is a fucking dope copy of Gutterwater. I'll tell you the story behind this shit.
Okay, hell yeah.
Violent J sent me this with like a pack of dope shit. It was like this. He sent me like a box of dopeness, and like the copy of Gutterwater was in there, and I'll never forget like how excited I was to like actually see this thing. Like, is insane.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. If that's the first pressing, I think that's actually a collectible now too.
This is the first one, bro.
Dope.
What song was it? Which one? Oh,
so
it's not even on here, bro.
No, I think it's because it's like tacked on to the end of On
That's
Everything.
right.
Like there's like 10 minutes of silence.
Oh shit, dude! I used to know that.
Word.
I used to know who made that. I was like, damn, that's a dope beat. It's someone dope too, bro.
Yeah, it is a dope beat, and it's kind of like Ouija having more fun, like you know, just being. It sounds like more of just a kind of Juggalo parody track, but it's killer, man. It's killer to kind of hear him. Even the way like that register kind of even changes his voice a little bit is super dope.
Another song that's like funny like that is Bare Hands, because it's the play on words, and then in the middle of the chorus when he explains the joke, I've got bear's hands, and that he doesn't repeat that in the second version of the hook. It's just it's so funny and so silly. I bet you all have a lot of fun, right, when you guys are like working on stuff. Like, I don't know. It seems that like that's the key to making a million records. You have to enjoy the process and like know when to be serious, know when to be silly. Do you have a favorite track on this record, Deveraux? Can you even pick one?
On Gutterwater? Let's see. I think my favorite's probably Killahoe Tribe Anthem for sure. That's my favorite one off the record, because I remember seeing that. I remember seeing the first time. I think he did that at the March, bro. And I remember fucking sitting in my car on YouTube, and like Shaggy sent it to me. He was like, "Bro, Ouija ran a bunch of our shit at the March." I was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, bro. It's like our whole thing, our whole set." Because I think. Wasn't the March even before? Yeah, the March was before Gutterwater came out.
Yep.
Okay, so he was sending me the videos, and he was like, "Bro, check this shit out." And Killahoe came on, and that moment always stuck with me. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, and the crowd participation part, like the way Ouija arranged that is fucking genius, bro. That's just memories like that where I'm like, "Damn, that's dope," you know?
It's almost
That's
like
cool.
a Magic Ninja chant too, where Juggalos will do that when the song isn't even playing. You know what I mean? Killer's in the cut.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great chorus.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
So
You know
fun.
what's funny? When I first realized that the Ouija stuff was popping, like I remember I was 10 years ago. I was in Hawaii working on some music, and I dropped a friend off the airport. And someone had pulled up with a big old twisted decal on the back of their like Subaru at the airport in Hawaii, and I was like, okay, Psychopathics representing. And like years later, I was some Midwestern town on tour, and the same size logo in someone's car was the Ouija Macc sticker. And I was like, that's crazy, because I hadn't seen that twisted sticker like that in years. I was like, that was a cool moment. I was like, okay, seeing that and piecing that, like that tripped me out.
Here's a question I really wanted to ask you, Deveraux. Ouija, like he really kind of the chronology of his discography is kind of themed. Like at first it was like the elements, like Stale Wind, Gutterwater, Trash Fire, and I probably inspired by the Joker's cards in a cool way, given the discography kind of a this sense of urgency and movement, which is super dope. It always has this theme, like overarching theme. Do you think about that production wise if you're making beats for Ouija?
Oh, not really, bro. You know what? Like, as weird as it sounds, like the elements kind of like wrote themselves, if that makes sense. Like
that does make sense.
There's like a time and place for each stage, as weird as it sounds. Like Wasteland has a temperature. I was feeling a certain way, and then we started doing like, it's weird because right as like Wasteland was finishing, in between like that and Dirtbag is when I started messing with guitar shit more. So I was making these more melodic things that kind of almost walked right into like the Stale Wind kind of sound.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So it kind of has this weird like even flow where it kind of like wrote itself kind of deal, you know?
It's like natural. That's dope. That's super fresh.
Well, it's interesting. Well, yeah, like these days, a lot of rappers are single focused, and and it's cool to have like an artist who does albums with concepts. Like that's always refreshing. I feel like that's something that Psychopathic has kept alive, really, right? Because people want, and that's why it's fun doing this episode, because it gives us a good platform for dissecting entire records. And that's what's up. Do you have a favorite record of all time, Deveraux, that you're like, this is my jam? A favorite beat you ever did, and also I'm curious, a favorite record you listened to by someone.
Dude, that's such a good question. Maybe that Take Me Home shit. Take Me Home, the last one on Stalewind is like I'm like, I really enjoy that one.
That's cool. Yeah. That's a good choice.
And you said favorite project from someone?
Yeah, of anyone.
Wow, ever?
Yeah.
Holy shit. What is your guys? What is your choice?
Well, my favorite record of all time is Malenko. I mean, that might seem like a cop-out answer.
Wow,
and the poster's
really?
right behind you, which is tight. But like, we've talked about that. That was about how that's just like mixes all the genres well, and it's just I don't know. That changed everything for me musically and in my life. And I heard it at a cool time. And I was lucky enough to be like a juggalo before that came out. So I'm 40, so like I knew about them, and when that dropped. I mean, I guess a lot of people can claim that, but like it was like cool to see them get this mass exposure, and that's my answer. What's your Snax?
So mine is another Joker's card. It's the Wraith Shangri-La. If I could choose the Wraith as Shangri-La and Hell's Pit as one album, I would use that. But where they came out like years apart, I'll just choose one. And Shangri-La. It's the first album I discovered by ICP. I was 11. In 2003 when I found out about ICP, so like that just era has so much nostalgia, and it's got to be Shangri-La. Favorite Joker's card and also favorite album of all time. Maybe what would be an easier question while you're thinking about your favorite album, do you remember the first Joker's card?
I'll do both. Maybe my favorite album, bro, will be like the first Slipknot record.
Word, okay.
I remember I would never stop playing that. Those songs were just always on repeat for me, bro. Like to this day, I bumped the first Slipknot record like a lot. Like,
tight.
It's a perfect run too, bro. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. And even as a kid, I remember listening to that shit in like middle school on the bus, and just having it like at a million. You know what I'm saying? Just like fucking all those. I love those songs, man. Rest in peace, Joey and Paul, man. But yeah, fucking. Probably that first Slipknot record. And my favorite Joker's card, fuck, man, it's always between Hell's Pit and fucking Riddlebox, bro. It depends, bro. Just depends on like my mood and shit. Like I'll be Riddlebox mood one day, you feel me? Like probably Hell's Pit, though, bro. Probably Hell's Pit, bro. Hell's Pit's fucking flawless. That's like one of the best records, like.
Dude, that's so cool to hear, because you don't I know Hell's Pit does get a lot of love, but you don't hear it amongst many's like number one. So that's awesome.
There's so many moments on that record that I try to like pull from, like in like Wretched and moments like that where I'm like, Hell's Pit, bro. Hell's Pit. You feel me? Like I'm always like waving the Hell's Pit flag with like the little cowbells and shit. Like there's just so many dope moments on that record that I always try to like make sure like I incorporate.
And that record is really a lot of times has a less is more philosophy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it can evoke so much, just darkness with a few sounds. And I agree, dude. That record is phenomenal.
You know what's interesting about both Riddlebox and Hell's Pit? Like they both deal with the theme lyrically that redemption has passed. Whereas Malenko's like, what you're doing wrong, it's an illusion. You can still fix what went wrong. Riddlebox is like, you turn the crank and guess what? You messed up. And Hell's Pit is like, you messed up. Both of those records, that's the theme. But the humor is balanced in the darkness of the beats that makes that like serious moral lesson digestible. And those two records are they're similar thematically in that way. Have you guys ever thought about that?
No, I never made that connection, but that's a very good point, dude, man.
I've thought about it that way once, where it was like the albums where you fuck up in the ethos are always those phenomenal records. You know what I'm saying? Like that record, Riddlebox, I feel like there's some of that on Which one? Fuck it. Even Malenko is kind of on there too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like that common theme of where like those are like some of the best moments, you know?
Bang Pow Boom is kind of like that too.
Yeah,
and it's like a bunch of people who fucked up and it's too late for them.
Yeah, it's just interesting. We're all fans. We all love music. We could chop it up all day. Deveraux, where can people find you? And like, you're active on social media, but like, do you want to plug any of your places where people can holler at you or follow what you're doing?
Just so you can hit me up on Instagram. I'm at DEVEREAUXX, and then on Twitter, same shit with 4 X's at the end. Yeah, man, fucking, that's where you'll find me, dog. That's where I'd be at.
Dope, man. What do we got to look forward to next? I know, of course, Detritus is coming out. I'm sure you're going to be producing for that. What can we look forward to from Deveraux?
Yeah, bro, fucking Detritus dropping. Fucking me and O'Trill are gonna drop. Our big fucking record is dropping very soon. What else? New Shaggy the Airhead on the way.
Dope.
Fucking new ICP. Like, bro, just we're always working, bro.
Cool.
The usual suspects. You feel me?
That's cool that you're still doing stuff with ICP. And I wanted to, speaking of artists in the realm, DJ Chunk, like when he's scratching on your beats live, that dude is he's adds some flavor too. Like seeing him at the gathering was awesome. Yeah,
bro, Chunk the GOAT, bro. He's incredible, fam. 100%.
And you did what was Another Day in Hell? You dropped that right around the gathering, right? That's kind of older now.
Yeah, we dropped it at the gathering. Fucking, it was dope, man. I was sitting on a couple beats and shit. And what had happened was I was just getting random opens, and people just sending me shit, just kind of just doing whatever, getting some demos down and shit. And it kind of put itself together. It was one of those things where like Chunk added the cuts, we filled in the holes with the random features, and it just kind of all came together right perfectly before the gathering. I was like, fuck it, man, let's drop it, like put it out. And yeah, it was dope, man. It was super cool to do like a different project like that.
I love the art. Like it's got that kind of the Wraith vibes, the colors. Yeah, it's cool. That's everyone should check for that. That's like that'd be an EP to do another episode on. Yo, you gave us an hour plus of your time and your energy. So thank you for this. It's been cool. And thanks for all you're doing for the community and like just being a cool, humble dude. It means a lot. This has been a good episode.
Thank you, bro. It's been a fucking honor being on here chopping it up and shit, dude.
Absolutely, dude. Such an honor. Juggalos, Juggalettes. That was our episode on Gutterwater, as well as our interview with the one and only Deveraux. Whoop, whoop, y'all. And thanks again, Deveraux.
Whoop, whoop.